What's up, guys? Welcome back to the pod. I'm here with Scott and Paul. What's good, guys?
Well, hello.
What's up, fellas?
What's new? I feel like switching up the format a little bit and
Wait,
just make it
I gotta hit the pause real quick
what?
before we start anything. Scott, feet to the fire. Did you watch The Exorcist?
I'm sorry. Hold on. The audio broke up for a second there. What did you say?
I forgot about this. I'm
You
glad you
know,
brought it up.
I didn't want to bring it up beforehand. I was putting it on the spot.
And and
Scott,
ha- and
please
ha-
tell
and
me, did you
and
see it?
and how did it go? How did the spot go?
I don't know. You tell me. Did you
Uh,
see it?
Not quite yet. You'll have to tune in next week, next
Damn.
time.
Scott, what's getting in the way over here? And we're for everybody who doesn't know, Scott, this dates back to the Halloween episode where we had a discussion about The Exorcist. Scott had not seen it, so it's been on the list.
Well, I've been watching quite a bit of other things other than The Exorcist. I'm not really into being. We're in like the holiday season mode. I don't want to be scared of a horror film. Come on.
TBD
Come
forever,
on.
man.
Come on.
TBD forever.
Yeah, no,
Heartbreaking.
I feel you. You don't want a hardcore horror movie right now may not be what's on the menu, but it's looming over your head, dude.
Since
I,
October.
I don't see it. I don't see it looming. I'm looking up. I don't see it looming on top of my head, but Paul, it gives you something to always ask for. And maybe one of these days when you ask, you may get a different answer than no.
In the chat. Hey, Scott, you watch it yet? You'll have to find out. Tune in this week.
That's what I knew was a hard no. But okay, we'll follow up again next week, Scott, and maybe this will be a reoccurring segment every episode.
Do. Did Scott watch The Exorcist?
I hope we have better segments than that to look forward to.
We do, but I want to. So Scott and I were talking pre-show about the Golden Globes, and he made a point of not realizing that the nominees had dropped because of how busy it's been in the news with Syria. If you live in New York, there was like the whole subway Penny Neely thing, and obviously the guy who offed the CEO of United Health. But the whole police investigation and chase into the United Health murder made me recall, like, I wonder how those cyber sleuths were doing during this whole thing. A few months ago, we did an episode on that cyber sleuths documentary, and they must have been having a ball with this stuff.
I don't know because it was brought that it was at an employee at a Pennsylvania McDonald's called it in that the person in question was found there. So they pretty much beat the cyber sleuths to it. And
I kind of want to dig up those old Instagram, their Instagram and YouTube accounts, just to see like what they've been daily posting. But I only made that connection today. That would be interesting to see what their whole world, because they all know one another, and they must have been buzzing so much. But not to sort of start with such a doom and gloom. We don't really go into the news here. Yeah, the Golden Globes nominations dropped. This isn't a show that we usually really care about, to be honest. But it is like the first big show before the Emmys and the Oscars, or right, Scott? The Emmys are after this.
Well, no. There's the Academy Awards are coming up around that time afterwards.
Academy Awards are usually late February or March, but aren't the primetime Emmys after the in between? Maybe not.
The all these I don't really have all the dates in front of me, but all of these award shows have changed when they occur because of COVID, so they've kind of changed when they happen.
Gotcha.
This is actually the first time that the Golden Globes are not affiliated with an entity of the Hollywood Foreign Press. So this is the first time it's being produced more as an entertainment show, like the People's Choice Awards, and it's not necessarily the same type of show. It's more entertainment, and It's more sponsored, where they have a lot more categories that are a lot more lenient.
Well, it's kind of the same. I feel like it's literally the same. It's always been like the show that nobody really takes serious, and they just pay celebrities, or they just have celebrities show up and then get drunk and maybe go on stage or do something goofy.
What was unique about it at the time, it was the only award show that was both TV and film that was voted on by critics. So now it's changed, where now it's writing critics that are writing for the entity that produces the show.
Who's hosting this year?
Who's hosting? I'm not quite sure. It's sort of like the show is just sneaking up. And I did actually see that I watched Sunday Morning on CBS, and one of the things that they had was that the Golden Globe nominations were going to be announced. So
Gotcha.
I'm not quite sure who's hosting. I'll take a look.
I never watched the show, but I always use it as a sort of platform.
Yes, I saw
What's up?
Nikki Glazer is going to host, so that's going to be interesting. She's quite funny.
It's a good reference point just to see what's been going on in the year and what I might watch before I watch the Oscars. Or it also helps me sort of justify the stuff and feel good about myself and the stuff that I did watch, like Baby Reindeer and A Real Pain, which I actually saw a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, not a ton of news coming out of here, but I am going to go through the list at some point and just give myself a couple of things to watch in between shows.
But now, I actually found the schedule. So the Golden Globes, not to go through every award show, but the
Please
Golden
don't.
Globes.
Just give us the prime.
Oh, I was. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Golden Globes are January 5th. The Screen Actors Guild Awards is January 8th. And then there's a lot of, and then the Grammy Award, the Grammy Awards are February 2nd. And I'm skipping all the unions. Screen Actors Guild is February 23rd, and then the Oscars, 97th Oscars, are on March 2nd, just to line up the start of all the awards shows.
Okay.
Season.
Yeah, I like award season. I love the Oscars. And sometimes I'll watch the primetime Emmys, but that's really it. But Oscars are usually a good night of television here at home. And I usually like to watch all of the best pictures films before the show, which is hard and usually doesn't happen. But I wanted to start off the show. I know we usually start off with like, what have you watched lately kind of thing. And maybe let's do that, because Scott, you and I, we've been talking way too much. I want to get Paul in here. He looks like he's building a pillow fort over there. Paul, what have you been watching lately?
A pillow fort indeed, sir.
Now, is it a two? Hold on. I want to know, is it the layout? Is it a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom?
It is a 2-story.
2-story.
Yes, 2-story.
Okay.
I'm not a big awards person. Like, I don't know. I just never been into the award show. I never got caught up in that hype. Same thing with like, I mean, anything like even like a Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. I'll glance at it. I'll probably glance at this. I was looking at the nominations. I saw a couple of these movies. I actually was interested in the Conclave. I didn't get a chance to, check it out. Challenges was another one that I kind of wanted to check out. Saw Substance, saw Wicked. I saw a couple of these up here, Dune 2, but I don't know. I just never been like a big award show type person.
We'll do a nice Oscar themed episode, just because I think that's the only serious award show in terms of movies. And we'll have some fun with that. But have you watched anything between? I know like we've been kind of like on and off and inconsistent with the episode drops. And I feel like content has also been inconsistent. Like there hasn't been like a really great show or tons of good stuff that we really watch week to week. Is there anything that is catching your eye?
Well, me and my wife started watching season 2 of Based on a True Story. That's on Peacock. And it was, they found a murderer and they were doing a podcast about a murderer, and it's a comedy. It's actually pretty good. I enjoy it. It's Kaylee Kuko or Cook. I don't know if I'm saying the
Oh,
girl
you
from oh my
from
gosh,
the
Big Bang Theory.
yeah, Big Bang Theory.
I heard this song in my head. I just couldn't get the word.
I know,
She's
I know,
pretty
I
funny.
know one lyric of the theme song.
Big Bang.
Yes. No. Hey.
Oh,
I don't remember this. I've seen a few episodes, but I don't recall. Also, Nathan Bartlett is in it. I like that guy. He's in stuff here and there, but
he's good. I like him. Yeah, he's like one of those people that you've seen around. He's pretty good.
oh,
The
his name
main
is Chris Messina. My bad. Nathan is the character.
Nathan, yeah, Nathan's the character. But yeah, overall, it's a funny show. I like it. I did go see Gladiator 2. Thought it was really, really well done. Of course, nothing beats the first Gladiator, but they had a lot of highlights. Denzel Washington. I mean, what can you say? He's amazing in everything he does. His
Yep.
little mannerisms that he does, like it's just so believable. The one thing I didn't like was felt sometimes that they were trying a little too hard. Certain things felt like a little forced.
Sidebar: Denzel got nominated for a supporting role.
Yeah, he was phenomenal in this. Yeah, and even the main guy, like Maxim, the whatever the gladiator of this one, he was pretty good, and he was fairly unknown before this movie.
Yeah, I've
Like,
never seen him
yeah,
before this movie.
I forgot what he was. He caught his eye, um, in some odd little show. I think it was like a British show, and he saw him in that, and that's what made him ask him to come and audition.
Okay, it's like Paul
But
something, right? Paul Mescal, is that his name? Or
yes, Paul Mescal.
Yes.
The one thing I got to say, my one critique about this, I mean, there's plenty like little plot, like when they filled up the whole Coliseum with water. You saw that in the trailer, and they had
Yeah.
like sharks and
That's when I
which
was like,
pretty.
I'm not watching this. But then I was like, you know what? I do want to watch it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I liked it. I mean, like some things is like a little outrageous. The rhino was pretty dope. But I like the way I was getting to. One critique that I didn't like was the two emperors. And it was really like off-putting because one of them looked like a young Robert Downey Jr. and one of them looked like they could actually be the child of oh my gosh, Joaquin Phoenix. But
Oh,
they
wow.
were I think they were really overdoing it. Like I think they were to an extreme where everybody else was a little more subtle. Denzel was like subtle as hell. He was really well done. But the two gladiators, I think, were just overdone, a little too overdone, a little cartoonish at times. But otherwise, I liked it. It had a great ending. A lot of things carried over from the first one. But
Yo, I read there was at one point a sequel script going around where Maximus, who dies at the end of the first film, he like gets sent to hell and he has to fight his way out.
oh, I thought you were going to say the other one about time travel.
No, I
There was
didn't hear
one
that
involving
one.
time travel that I thought was pretty ridiculous.
But I thought the idea of him like dying, going to hell, and then having to fight his way out, it sounds like a God of War video game plot.
Yeah.
That could have been sick if it was done right. Obviously, it would have to be like 300 kind of movie.
This movie was about integrity and about like leadership and things like that. You don't want to get too fantastical with it. I think they did a good job
Bro,
keeping
they
in the
got
same vein.
sharks in the Coliseum.
Yeah, I get that, but I would say that's probably the most like outrageous thing. And they explained it like I mean, they didn't really explain it in
They
the
don't
movie,
have to
but
explain it, man.
you don't have to explain it. But it's and they had sails on the ship. You're in the Coliseum. Where are you getting the gust of wind from?
This sounds like
So,
Sharknado. Sharks.
yeah, it
But
was.
it sounds like it was better done. It looks like it was better done than Sharknado, but sharks in the middle of the Coliseum floating in water. Come on.
with propellers on their heads.
With
Come
propellers, come on.
on.
But it was besides
Okay.
that part, I think it was good. I think you'll like it. If you like the first one, I think you'll like this one. It
Yeah, the
carried in
first
the
one's a
same vein.
classic.
And I think he saw him from All of Us.
The hell
All
is
of Us
that?
Strangers. It was like a British
Is he
Paul
British?
Mescal. Yeah, I think so. Is he British? I think he's British.
Oh, this movie. Okay, yeah, this movie got nominated for Best Picture not too long ago.
Yeah, and that's where I think am I saying Ridley Scott? Yeah, Ridley Scott saw him,
Ridley Scott.
and he called him in to come. But some parts felt forced. Whatever. I liked it overall. Otherwise, I've been watching a lot of like Halloween. I'm not Halloween. Christmas horror. I've been getting into my Christmas horror groove.
Scott, what's your Christmas horror calendar look like?
Sure as hell not Exorcist, I'll tell you that much.
I don't think there's a Christmas tree in that film. No, I guess if you're talking about emotional, that's horror, maybe. But usually the Christmas movies I watch, no one dies in them. Or they don't die because of a fight. It's not that it doesn't like go to that level of violence.
You just watch the wrong ones. Huh?
Maybe Jingle All the Way, maybe considered that's like the extent of violence that I go.
I watched this. I was putting up the Christmas tree, doing some stuff in the house. And I was just like binging Christmas made for TV movies and anything else I can find between like Peacock and Paramount Plus. And I watched this movie for the first time. It's called Arthur Christmas. It's an animated movie.
Yeah,
It's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. It's with the James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Bill Nye, like a bunch of people and voices that you'll recognize. Came out in 2011. It's really funny.
Did you stream it?
I think it was either on Paramount Plus or Peacock. Yeah, it's basically about like this, like Santa is like the Santa family, and like the current Santa is about to retire, and his son wants to take over, but he's like he's kind of like impassionate about the whole thing and more business oriented.
More of a military operation for him.
Yeah. And then, it's about sort of finding the true meaning of Christmas once they realize that one kid didn't get their gift. So there's like a race to get this last little girl her present. It's really funny. And it surprised me. So it was nice to see something like that.
Yeah, I see it's available on Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Are you guys like Charlie Brown guys? Like, do you watch the Charlie Brown specials on the holidays?
I usually do. Just the Christmas
like
and the Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And the Halloween. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I usually do. I haven't this year yet. Those are on Apple this year, right?
I get it somewhere else, but I sometimes rent it from the library.
This guy, I rented from the library.
What are you laughing at, huh? Mr. Exorcist over here.
It's you made it sound like you watch it someplace very legitimate.
Yeah, well, a library. I do. I rent it from the library.
Okay, there you go.
Copies. I have a library card. But it's not the holiday as a star for me. It's usually that very first thing we watch is the Charlie Brown specials.
Having fun is not hard when you got a library card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that tradition too. I think Apple has the rights right now because I always see it when I sort of log into my Apple TV. It's on the scrolling on top, but I don't have a Apple TV Plus.
But something nice, Apple does offer one day where they let you stream it for free.
Oh,
I think it's each of them. They offer one day where just to keep that tradition alive when it used to air on like CBS.
Yeah. Scott, you celebrate Christmas, right?
I'm an equal opportunity celebrator.
Okay. Have you started getting into the Christmas content consumption?
Not content consumption. No, not in regards to you made that very technical. No, I have not got into officially of content consumption that are in the category of Christmas or the 2 or 3 things that are Hanukkah based. No, not quite yet. But when well, I guess you know what? I guess you can say this counts. I watched the Thanksgiving Macy's parade, and then I also watched the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting on NBC. So I guess that
You're
kind of
getting in the
counts.
spirit. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Yes, once the tree
Okay.
lighting and that you're right into it ready.
Does that
But
light up your heart?
well, not for watching it for 3 hours here in New York, but yes, for a brief moment, yes, it does. And I go, boy, why did it take that long?
So do you watch it just to complain about the broadcast? Tell me, I want to understand what joy you get from this.
I get wow, you really built it up there. No, I watch it for the overall feel to see how long who they're going to have perform and how many different places they're going to have them perform and how pre-recorded all the performances can be. It's like they'll if you're going to get serious, like I won't go too far into it. Like they'll have them announce the next person, and you can clearly see in the background that on the ice skating rink they're setting up for something else,
Mhm.
and they just throw to someone performing there that was done way before. It's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense.
Pre-recorded?
It's like, wait, this doesn't make sense. How are they setting up for someone else? Now the Rockettes are kicking their legs and they're all like doing their whole thing. Like that doesn't make sense. But no, I've been watching plenty of other things. I know Bruno, you're gonna want to talk about the agency coming up, but I've been watching quite a few movies. Civil War, I watched with Kirsten Dunst, which was
Oh, that's on Max now. Well,
yes.
it's been on for a while, actually. What made you pull that up? Just the election?
Well, boy, you're tying it everything to the headlines. My goodness, no. Well, kind of, but also when I saw the trailer, I saw Kirsten Dunst where she was playing a character that she went from starting out playing a cheerleader, which was years ago, and
Yeah.
this is a completely opposite character.
She was also Mary Jane in
Yes.
Spider-Man series.
MJ.
Yes, she's worked her way in doing more complex characters, and her husband is also in the film.
Why did you want to watch this movie? Why now, Scott?
Why now? Because it was available.
Okay, fair enough.
And I thought it would be, have a very good chance of being nominated for something. So I was wanting to see if it actually made it.
Checking it off the list. I think it might get nominated for something. It'll be nice if it does. It is. I really enjoyed that movie.
What did you think of it, Scott? Did you like it?
I did. I thought it was a unique story because it was. I'm not going to go very specific into it, but it was. There really wasn't a lot of setting up to where they were present day in the movie, but it was more about what their journey was to get to the point of the destination they were trying to get to, and how all these scenes were so well done of showing areas that were completely abandoned with all these cars everywhere, and it didn't look superimposed. It looked quite real.
Yeah, I agree. That movie really, I liked it because it was like a road trip movie. Whatever was going on, big picture wise, regarding the war was sort of not really what the filmmaker was interested in. So we didn't really, the audience kind of had to fill in the blanks there in terms of like who's siding with who and what the problem is. It was more like the journey of these characters through a broken America that had all kinds of perspectives and really struggling with itself.
But it also gave a not like a fictitious point of view, but it sort of portrayed what it's like to be a journalist in a war zone, and this is a war zone.
It did that really well.
Yeah.
The young reporter Jessie, she was the main actress in Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
and I think she did a phenomenal job in both movies. She was pretty good.
To me, she looked so much older in Alien.
Yeah. To me, there's that one scene that stood out to me with the kid from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that he can be so terrifying.
Oh my gosh, really, really terrifying. That was such a great scene. Pretty powerful.
I watched that movie in. So there's a Dolby Digital AMC theater near me, but there's only one cinema, so they only have like 3 showings per day, and it's very hard to get tickets. But I actually got tickets to see Civil War in that theater, and it's a completely different experience, man. And I think that's why the movie stayed with me. Just the audio and visual quality are so on another level that, like, the gunfire, for example, in the film, like, it made you feel like you were there. So in that scene that you're saying, Paul, when he suddenly shoots the other reporter, it's like so loud, it's like you're there. It's and the whole theater like jumped.
Now, visually, does it like extend the screen around you, like that enhanced performance? Like, what does it actually
No,
do?
it just has like much better audio quality. The screen quality is extremely good too, but it's not the one we were talking about that kind of like wraps you. I think that's like one of the IMAX theaters, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I just did that for Wicked. We went to go see Wicked, and I did that enhanced like side screen because it was such a big movie.
Yeah,
And to be honest, it didn't add a lot. A lot of times the sides were like you're entering a hallway, so they just stretched it out. A lot of times the
yeah,
side was blurry, and I didn't really felt like sometimes you felt like immersed in the world that you were in if they did the side visuals very well. But other times, like I would say like 75% of the time, it just felt like an extended drag of
yeah.
the original format. And it
It
was like,
might it might depend on the director. Some directors might shoot specifically for that kind of viewing experience. But yeah, the Dolby is one experience. The IMAX is another experience, and then I think there's like laser. At least in the theater that I go to, there's all these different kinds of ways to watch the movies, and like obviously the best ones always sell out first, and then usually have to settle for the laser, which is like the smaller theater with, it's still fine. But when you get the Dolby, for me, that was like, holy cow, this is very different, very
I'm
nice.
I'm gonna go see Craven probably this week, Thursday, and I'm gonna go
Uh-oh.
try to see it on the enhanced one and see if that makes a difference. Because like
Okay.
I get confused with all these different options that they have. Um, and
Yeah.
like I said, that to me, that one wasn't worth it. But I've seen a show at the planetarium in that kind of visual aspect where it wraps around you. You're almost in a dome, and it was stunning. It was amazing. It was like going into space, and you're totally absorbed into it. You're
Right.
wrapped around, and it was just such an amazing show. So I guess it's like you said, it could be really great technology if the director or whoever's filming chooses to utilize it.
Yeah, I think for those kind of like museum experiences, like they're in many cases they're shot specifically for that kind of experience. So if you just air like Mean Girls 2 on there, it ain't gonna be the same.
That will look that will look quite stretched, but
Yeah.
that's the made especially IMAX films, where it's produced especially for that. It's like presented in IMAX.
Yeah, IMAX is really cool too. But you have to go to like true IMAX. Like you have to make sure that when you buy the ticket, it says like what theater is playing the film. Just going back to Christmas real quick, I want to shout out, and I kind of slept on this movie, and I think everybody did. Dear Santa on Paramount Plus with Jack Black.
Okay,
Yo,
hold
this
on.
movie's good, man.
I was wondering if someone was going to bring that up. That is like, what is that?
You saw that?
I saw
No,
it.
I
Yeah.
did not see it, but it's just like, what
I
is
recommend it. Scott, I was with you watching the trailer, but it doesn't do it justice. The movie's actually pretty good. Paul, what did you think?
Unfortunately, we started it kind of late, so I passed that towards the end, so I didn't see the end of the movie. But
It has
we
a
saw it this
22%.
weekend.
It has a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's why you can't go by that. You got to go
Yeah.
by like what you feel. And it was a feel good Christmas movie. Like it was a lot more than what I expected. I thought it was gonna be a stupid Like just nothing that was gonna be great, and it had a lot more heart and warmth to it than I was expecting.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I kind of watched it in the background a little bit, but I kept paying attention. The plot's very easy to follow. But Paul, I would go back and watch the ending. It
Yeah,
is
we're
the best
we're gonna
part.
go
It
back
is
and
the
watch
best
it.
part.
Jack Black, it's a role for him. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, he's so good with kids on screen, like Nacho Libre, School of Rock. Like he does really well with like acting with kids.
and now they're coming out with not Roblox. Oh my gosh,
Oh yeah, Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah,
It
that should
looked
be.
like a film with Jack Black. And like, okay, now we can't have Jack Black be in the movie by himself. We have to have other people join him too.
Yeah, and they did. Somehow they got Post Malone roped into the film.
Yeah, I saw
Look,
that part.
I
do
don't know
you?
how that worked out.
Well, I think they said, Post Malone, do you want to be in a movie with Jack Black? And he said, you better believe I do.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah.
like
Hell yeah.
it was weird. It kind of worked with him in the movie. He didn't really have a ton to do, but yeah, it was cool. I just wanted to shout that out. But that actually leads me to I want to have at some point I want to have a bigger conversation about these platforms like Hulu, Peacock, Paramount, Amazon, and just see like what we're really getting from them and what's their appeal of each one, what makes each one different, what and which one of these, outside of Netflix, Max, and Disney are we kind of watching. And I feel I've recently been spending a lot of time on Paramount Plus, and I got roped into it when I started watching the Mission Impossible series, which this is another thing. I would love to do another, maybe 1 or 2 episodes about revisiting the Mission Impossible movies, because they hold up. They are really freaking good action movies. And great cast throughout the entire series. But I got into watching Fallout and then watching Rogue Nation and Dead Reckoning. That's why I wanted to watch Dead Reckoning Part 1. And then I kind of got roped into the whole series, and I realized why I loved it from the first one. There's a lot of content on there. All the classic Paramount films are on there. And there are many, many Paramount movies, and then tons of Paramount owned TV shows as well. I was actually scrolling, and like they have stuff like Tosh.0 over there from like 2008 is on there if you want to, because they have Comedy Central, they have BT, MTV, Nickelodeon, they have all that stuff. So if you want to go back to Comedy Central, which I don't even think exists anymore, they have all those shows. Like you can
Comedy Central doesn't exist. Come on. The Daily Show is still on cable TV on Comedy Central.
It is. I think most people watch it on YouTube. I don't think most people are watching it on cable.
I don't think so either. It's the only thing that's actually new throughout the entire 24/7.
But all the stuff is there. And I also watched. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just saw Tosh, and he was hosting the GOAT on Paramount, which was like the creme de la creme of like the reality TV winners, like from Survivor or whatever, and they threw them all in one house, and it was called the GOAT.
Of course they did.
Yep.
And
I saw that on there too. I didn't know he was the host.
Yeah, he was the host. I haven't seen Tosh in so long. Web Redemption and all that, when he used to do the Tosh 2.0.
Yeah, and that just brought me back to like a whole world of like when the internet was still something that was brought to the television, like here's all the cool stuff I found on the internet, and now putting it on TV versus like,
oh my gosh,
now it's even bigger than TV.
MTV had that before too, when they Rob Dyrdek, when they had like the crazy
ridiculousness.
I had Peacock. I had Paramount for a while when we were on a Survivor kick, and we were watching a lot of the Survivors, and I caught the Mission Impossibles, some Ninja Turtle stuff, but I don't know. I got kind of tired after a while. I couldn't find like anything that kept drawing me back. There wasn't a lot of like new Paramount created content, like new stuff.
There isn't a ton. Yeah, there isn't a ton, unless it's like a Paramount film that's in theaters and then it goes straight to the platform. I also got lured in to watch Landman, which it's like it's like prestige garbage TV in a way. It's about this guy played by Billy Bob who kind of, I don't know what he does, what his title is, but he kind of like controls the underground operations for like an oil company, basically. So he deals with he deals with lawyers, drug dealers, and everything in between. It's pretty good. John Hamm is also in it, and a couple of other stars. Billy Bob got nominated for a Globe, even though I think his acting is awful and the writing is mostly bad. But there's something still interesting about the show. But the real gem right now in Paramount is The Agency. It's a spy thriller. I guess it's a spy thriller, but it's not really. It's more on like spy craft and less on the action side of things. It stars Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Richard Gere, and then what's this guy? The guy from The Wire. I can't remember his name. What's his name? He also played Prince Charles in The Crown.
Michael Fassbender.
Well, no, he's the star.
Yes. And then there's Richard Gere.
Well, no, yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. Oh, there it is. It's Dominic West. He plays the CIA director. But it's basically about a guy, Michael Fassbender, who is brought home from sort of his CIA undercover ops. So he's back at HQ, and then you get to really see what the CIA is like from the inside. So you get to track like field agents, all the politics inside the organization, and I just found it to be super, super interesting. It's one of those shows that you really have to be locked in when you watch it. You can't have your phone in your hand. You can't have someone talking to you, because you will miss a detail and you'll be lost. I saw the first 2 episodes. Scott, I think we were texting and I told you I fell asleep watching it. That was because I started watching it at 11 p.m., but then I rewatched it at 8 a.m. where I'm much more alert, and I was hooked. I could not turn away. So I watched the first 2. I think right now 4 are out. And I hope it gets some recognition. It's buried because it's on P+, and you also have to be like a P+ premium or Showtime subscriber. I don't even know how that works.
That's the issue with Paramount. They have to figure out what they are, because there's shows that are just on there, or movies that are just on there independently. Then there's like Yellowstone, but which is part of, Taylor Sheridan. It's just like how you were talking about, the Billy Bob Thornton spinoff show. That's Yellowstone.
That's not a spinoff. That's its own show.
Well, it's its own show, but it's also it's
a Taylor Sheridan show, but
right.
It's not tied to the other shows.
But like Yellowstone is connected to Paramount TV, so they have to figure out: are we going to put shows on that are connected to a network or cable channel, or just put something on independently? Because if you have cable TV, you don't need Paramount Plus unless you want to watch all these other things. But I watched The Agency. There's a lot of whispering, and you have to really listen. I'm like, why are they whispering? There's no one else in the room other than the other person that you want to hear what you're saying. And they do a lot of the let's use the phone to tell people information, but we won't have the phone long enough on the camera, so everyone needs to pause it to find out. I don't need to research and go, wait, what does it say? What does it say there? There's a lot of having to dissect what they're talking about.
I found it to be pretty clear. I didn't have that issue. I thought it was pretty clear. It's not a show that's going to hold your hand and explain everything to you. You either follow along or you don't. And I feel like they don't really make shows like this as much anymore because people don't have the attention span to sort of keep up with a single point of focus. I myself often watch a show and I will linger on to Twitter or Blue Sky or Instagram or whatever. This show, you can't really do that. And I think it trusts the audience to be you know, intentional in its viewing. So it's based on a French show called The Bureau that had, I think, 4 or 5 seasons. So I'm hoping that this one, just given the stars that are aligned with it, I hope it does sort of stay on Paramount for a while, or at least on screen somewhere for a long time. I'm really liking it, and I don't think there's really a lot of stuff like this out right now. The last show that I remember that like really gripped me was Mindhunter and that was just, I think, 2 seasons on Netflix. It's awesome. I know you got to go through hoops to find it, but it's great.
Now, as long as if you subscribe to Showtime, or you have to get the premium Paramount Plus, the Paramount Plus with Showtime, you'll be able to see it. I want to like it, which is why I am going to give it another chance, where I can provide my undivided attention and not watch it after a long day. That's not the way you can watch the show.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just lose interest completely.
Yeah, so that's the only recommendation I have this week is The Agency and Landman. If you want to, it's a less serious show, but it is popular.
But the last 6 episodes of Yellowstone, I don't know if you both watch Yellowstone, but Yellowstone has its last 6 episodes, and the last episode of the series, because it's the last 6 episodes, doesn't include Kevin Costner, because Kevin Costner decided to separate himself from the show for various reasons that we could spend hours going over what happened or why. So it's basically about him. The show is carrying on about the death of Kevin Costner's character, John Dutton, and what is transpiring as a result of him no longer being, running the farm anymore. And
I didn't know you watch Yellowstone?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
Every week.
I've never seen Yellowstone.
It's a highly demanding thing to catch up with, because there's a lot of it's 5 seasons.
Yeah. I think
I remember you mentioning Yellowstone, and it's funny, Bruno. The moment you mentioned The Agency, it's like I felt like I started popping up everywhere. There was always like, it felt like on the Fire Stick. The moment you open up home screen, it popped up. When I went into, I forgot what else I was watching. The commercial would come for it, like on YouTube, a lot of times. And I actually had to look up what Blue Sky was, because I never heard of that social media app, Blue Sky.
Oh yeah. It's like a old Twitter.
Like a Twitter
thing. Yeah.
But I didn't watch Yellowstone from the very beginning when it started. I sort of caught up in the past year or so and just watched one after the other.
So you binged from season 1?
Yes.
Okay, so it's good. I did watch Horizon, the Kevin Costner film, and I loved it. I thought it was so good. So hopefully he does I know he's like funding it himself, and it was an absolute failure commercially and critically.
I couldn't get through the first hour.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. So hopefully he makes the second one. Paul, do you want to get into how we're gonna do the Christmas episode, or is there anything else you guys want to bring up?
Shoot, something popped up when you were talking about The Agency, and now I can't remember.
While you're thinking of it, I would also say you should try watching Saturday Night, which is also a funny film, which is about the first episode of
SNL.
last of SNL. I think it's the 48 hours leading up to the first episode of the first season. All of that's carrying on, and the impressions of all the actors that played every part was very good.
Scott, do you still get those screeners?
Screeners? I kind of, but it gets to the point where you don't need screeners because so much is available already on streaming services. So
is Saturday Night streaming already?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
VOD.
Oh, VOD. Okay.
I've been loving that they brought back Lonely Island to do a lot more digital shorts. They've been doing those short songs.
Yeah.
It's been like 2-3 weeks in a row. They just did one a couple weeks ago, Sushi Hole instead of Glory Hole.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I'm more into the live stuff. I don't need to watch. I like watching Saturday Night Live, not Saturday Night let's watch some pre-recorded things that are gonna do really well on YouTube Live.
Yeah, I like it too. Like they just had the guy from Gladiator 2 on there.
Yeah.
Paul, they had him on there and he did some pretty funny ones. But I there's a love I have for the digital shorts. I've been listening
Same.
to their podcast and they've been going through it's Seth Meyers with Lonely Island, and they've been talking about all their previous digital shorts and like what it entailed leading up to it. So it's been pretty funny to go like listen to the pod and then go rewatch the digital short that I haven't seen in like years. So there's like this like I love the live stuff like you said, Scott, but there's just a special part in my heart for the digital shorts that I just remember watching as a kid, like getting home from the bar or like whatever as like a like 21-year-old or whatever, and watching SNL, like a little hungover, having like McDonald's or something with a group of friends,
Yeah.
and like laughing about it.
Now,
So
but when you would watch, are you talking about? Were you watching it on YouTube or were you watching it live on NBC? Like
Live, son.
on beginning to end.
now or then?
Then,
Then it was live.
okay,
No way, it wasn't on YouTube. Now it's on YouTube.
of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout out to Please Don't Destroy. I feel like those three kids are hilarious with their digital shorts on SNL the last 2 or 3
Well,
years.
I am glad someone likes them because that's the part where I go, let's move on.
Really, I look forward to their segment. They're really good.
oh, you know what I was gonna ask? That's what popped up when you were talking about the agency. I thought about new stuff that we started watching. Dune. I was gonna ask if you stayed up with Dune or not.
Oh yeah, good. I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. I tried episode 3 and I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you said, right now is a weird time of content because I've been on a struggle to find something new besides what I'm watching with my wife and like trying to catch a movie here and there. Um, you know, I I was excited they came out with a new trailer for like Invincible. Um,
A
they
few.
came, yeah, they
28
came,
years later also came out.
yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up. There's just not a lot of great stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm
Even
with
me,
you.
I'm a big fan of What If, the Marvel series, the animation.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to come back. It's going to be the final season. I can't believe they're not stretching that one out. But it's been hard to find something like new to watch.
Yeah, that kind of sticks with you, right? Like you usually like 2 episodes in and then you just kind of like never go back.
Yeah, I mean, besides the Penguin grabbed me and I stuck with it. But Dune just I haven't there's been really nothing like that I've been crazy, watching. That's why I
I
started getting into this holiday spirit a little earlier.
I found myself 2 shows that are keep myself busy. That's Friday Night Lights and ER.
Oh, okay, past shows, yeah.
Yeah. No, I've done the same. I'm rewatching Mad Men for the third time. I think we're on season 5. Season
Again?
5 now.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, it's like we watch it like every 2 years. We'll rewatch the whole series.
Oh, speaking about old shows, did you guys hear about the? I don't know. Were you guys big Dexter fans?
No,
Big, yeah,
but
a
yes,
little bit.
it's
We talked
coming
about
up
this a
now.
while ago.
Yeah, Dexter Origins is dropping.
Yes.
No, there's going to be 2 of them. There's going to be Dexter Origins, where Michael C. Hall is going to be the inner monologue voice, and
Yeah,
they're also doing a sequel to
another sequel
to the
to the sequel.
Original Sin, or what was it? The one that
Original Sin. No,
yeah, no. Oh
it was the
man, what
one
was
where
it
he's like
called?
in Alaska.
Yeah, they're doing a sequel to that, where basically
New Blood.
New Blood, where they catch him right in time because it's cold in Alaska or whatever, and they're able to save him, and then the story continues on from there.
Did you watch the 2 New Blood?
I did. I was a huge Dexter fan. I mean, like, there's nothing beats like that first season's amazing. The first 3 or 4 seasons are pretty good. I think up to John Lithgow, that season where he was a Trinity killer, and
Yeah,
then
that's where they kind of revived itself.
yeah,
I rewatched season 1 a few months ago. I love it.
even season 2, like I felt like the moment they got rid of Dokes, it started going down a little bit, and
Yeah,
then the Trinity revived it. John Lithgow was just pretty good, and then it started going down again, and it never came back from the nosedive.
Yeah.
So,
So it's good here and there. I agree. And
but
then
nothing beats that first season is like up there with like some of the great TV. Like, I don't know, it was just really, really good.
yeah,
A little too gory for me.
yeah, it's a little gory.
Just a
I don't mind the
just
blood.
just a little. There's only like one person that dies, or multiple people that die in every episode. It's like,
Well, the irony is the killer in season 1, there was never any blood.
well, that's
Yeah.
you
Yes,
just
Color.
you just I guess yes. You just the person just disappears.
I don't like torture porn. I don't like that kind of like that gory horror. Like, I like Eli Roth. I like his movies, but I don't like the
Just
huge
like,
violence, like the gory violence in it. I don't like that.
yeah, I
But
don't like that either. But Dexter's not that. It's not a
no,
violent
Dexter's not
show.
that at all.
It
No,
usually shows up after the crime has occurred.
yeah. It's such a great concept. There's only so much you could do with it, I guess.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the new. I'm not super excited about the prequel. But the other one, man, they got two. What are the names?
The
Original Sin.
prequel, when I first saw the trailer, it felt like an SNL skit. Like the
When
guy
they
who
try to
came,
recreate that classic intro,
yeah,
and it just
and
was
when
off.
Baptista came in, and
Oh my
like
God, young
I was
Batista.
like, it was like someone doing a parody of Dexter. That's what it felt like. Like, I couldn't take it serious. It was just, let me down big time.
I'm gonna check it out, but just because I have to, like, I'm just curious. So it's Original Sin, and what's the other one?
I don't know. I don't know if they gave the name of it yet, but it's going to be a sequel
Okay,
to whatever. What'd you say? True Blood? Or not True
New
Blood?
Blood.
New Blood. New Blood.
And I think New Blood had just 10 episodes, right? Maybe.
Yeah, if that, maybe only 8. It was short, pretty much.
Maybe I'll finish that. I watched most of it.
It was okay. I mean,
Yeah, it was just like Dexter in the cold instead of the nice and sunny Miami.
and it brought his son, and
Oh yeah, that's right. His son shows up. His his foster son, right?
no, his real son.
That was his real son.
He had a son. He had the 2
Oh,
foster
that's
kids that
right.
ended up in Florida,
And
and
then
he
he had
his,
his son. That's right. That's right. That's right.
hence the
Oh,
New Blood, but it never like came to fruition.
the other one's called Dexter Resurrection.
Oh, yeah, New Blood called this. Yeah.
I don't think there's any information on that yet.
Set to release next summer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Whatever. Check it out. Next week, or potentially the week after, we're gonna do our Christmas draft. How do you want to do this one? How are you guys thinking about it?
I think similar format to the Halloween draft. Maybe come up with some categories. Definitely got to do a
Okay.
horror category.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a horror category for Christmas.
Oh yeah, there's a.
I didn't know either. Where is this coming from? I guess it's a horror category for everything. Okay.
Well, look, do you guys know who Krampus is?
I mean, yeah, kind of. He's like the anti-Santa or something.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a movie on him. That's a horror one. They just came out with a new one last year. It's A Wonderful Knife.
Oh, interesting. I love that title.
That has oh my gosh, that has got his name. He's so
Oh,
fun.
Justin Long.
Yes, Justin Long. He's so good. He was in Tusk. And he's in a lot of
Tusk
these
is a weird freaking movie, man.
fun movies. So there's a couple. There was another one too with David Harbour, and he was oh my gosh, Violent Night, and he was Santa
Violent
Claus.
Night. Yeah, that one looked pretty horrible. That came out last year or 2 years ago. See, here's the problem I have with these movies. You can't like Santa's kind of sacred, and when you put Santa in like a really violent environment where he's killing people, it just feels off to me. It just I don't know. It doesn't sit right So that I usually don't watch those types of films. But if it's like maybe It's a Wonderful Knife, like that might be a little bit different.
I think the only one where Santa's violent is the Violent Night with David Harbour as Santa
Yeah,
Claus.
as Santa.
The other ones are like P2. They consider a Christmas horror movie. It
Do
was
they?
like a kidnapping in a parking lot. The Lodge. That was a Christmas movie, Christmas horror movie, because it's the end of the world and they're just chilling in the lodge. Or no, sorry, that was Silent Night. Silent Night is where the end of the world's coming. There's like some kind of like natural disaster where like
Oh, during Christmas, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'm more on the on the jolly side, but all right. I like Christmas comedies. And there's tons of them. But okay. We'll sort of refine the categories and everything offline, and then next week we'll have a little Christmas movie draft. We'll keep like all the point system the same, I guess. Hopefully we get
just
Pedro.
we gotta iron out the Steal of a Steal. I
I
think
think
that's
we
what
figured it out.
that messed
Oh
us
yeah.
up last time. We were stealing after steals.
I think
Yeah.
Paul has it down quite well.
I don't mind a little chaos. I think it's okay. Okay, cool. We'll leave it there. See you guys next week for the Christmas special. Peace.